What's up, Red Wings fans? Welcome to another edition of the Forecheck, live from right here at Little Caesars Arena. I'm Daniella Bruce, and joining me, as always, Ken Kal, your favorite radio broadcaster. Ken, great to have you. Yeah, only one, but that means he's our favorite, so it's good. Still the favorite. Don't sell yourself short.
You know, it's great to be here again, and boy, it's been a busy week for the Red Wings. 6 games in 7 days, and only 2 more preseason games to go, including tonight against the Toronto Maple Leafs.
And this is the last one preseason here at Little Caesars Arena. Next time we're here, Ken, it'll be a regular season hockey game.
Yeah, the Dallas Stars come in town after a game in Nashville, and boy, that's going to be a fun game. Red Wings always seem to play well against those Nashville Predators, and then a tough way to come back to have your home opener, but we're excited about the red carpet and all the fan support we're going to have for that opener on October the 6th.
Yes, we have a lot to look forward to, but Ken, let's take a quick look back at last night. The Red Wings were in Calumet for their game against the Blues.
Thanks, guys. Carly Johnston here in Calumet, Michigan. I'm standing in front of the Red Wings locker room where yesterday they took on the St. Louis Blues in the world's oldest indoor ice rink for the Kraft Hockeyville preseason game. It was an amazing day. It seemed like the whole town of Calumet and some came together to watch 2 NHL teams play in their town.
Let's go Red Wings! Let's go Blues!
Tonight, in the world's oldest indoor arena, it hosts an NHL game for the first time. It's a unique place. This is Calumet, Michigan. This will be a Red Wings crowd tonight, but their opponent carries some clout as well. The defending Stanley Cup champions.
It'll be a great environment, so let's have fun. We're going for real in a week, so get yourselves going full speed.
Underway here at Kraft Hockeyville, USA, Calumet Coliseum on Michigan's Upper Peninsula. Taken here by Chalowski.
Sorry about that pass.
You're good. Back onto the ice for the Red Wings. Perron creeping in, they score. Perron put it towards the net. It went off a skate, I believe, of Ryan O'Reilly and in. Anthony Mantha, he can fly. Mantha in, scores! The response immediate from Anthony Mantha. Rasmussen as well. Larkin, Bertuzzi, and it won't go. First, and they jam away and get it to go, and it's Rasmussen. 3 goals scored in the period, making 4 as that seeing eye shot from Chalowski finds the back of the net. And that'll be the lasting image of this game. 4-1 win for the hometown Detroit Red Wings, about 10 hours away from their home in Detroit. And a salute to the crowd here in Calumet, not just for the Red Wings, but from the St. Louis Blues as well.
It was so incredible to see how excited all these fans were when the Red Wings brought their game here to Calumet. Well, you guys, I gotta hit the road. I have a long drive ahead of me back to Detroit. Unfortunately, that's why I won't be making the game tonight, but I will see you in the regular season October 6th for our home opener. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Carly, all the way from Calumet. And for those of you that don't know, that's way at the tippy top of the Upper Peninsula. And that looked like it was incredibly exciting. These 2 guys came to play last night. Anthony Mantha and Michael Rasmussen both had 2 goals on the night. Ken, obviously they played well, but what did you like about the overall Red Wings performance last night?
Well, I really thought that they were really creative on the power play. I think, the top line really performed well. And it took them a little while to get going when they played their first game together, but they were in sync last night. I like the quick puck movement, and as Paul Woods always talks about, they had the either-or situation down low where you could pass or play it to the point or shoot, and they were very creative on the power play. I really liked the way they looked, and they had a good net front presence as well. But overall, I thought it was a really well-played game from everybody. I thought Danny DeKeyser was just huge back there on the blue line as well. He really played well.
Let's go back to Michael Rasmussen for a second. We talked about him a lot really throughout training camp and through this preseason, that he had something to prove to this coaching staff, and they moved him to center, which looks like it's going well for him.
Yeah, it really does, and I think he's going to be better as a center iceman, and they want him to continue to get stronger. And I think for a center iceman who has size like Rasmussen, he can come back into the zone. He's actually like a third defenseman helping out back there. But again, it's a work in progress. He's still young. He's still developing. But man, is he a big body. And he's got a great net front presence. We saw that deflection. And he never stopped digging away at that puck when he finally put his first one home. So, yeah, he's really trying to show management and the coaching staff that he wants to start and be on that 23-man roster against the Nashville Predators.
And Ken, as you mentioned, the Red Wings had 6 games in 7 days, tonight being one of those games, so it's a quick turnaround. They were here for morning skate, and I was in the locker room with Coach Blashill and Joe Veleno.
I think just my 200-foot game, I thought I got a lot better at that. I think, the player development guys this year really, hassled on me for that, becoming a 200-foot player and being good on the defensive side of the puck. And I think with my game now, I think I noticed that a lot, being that 200-foot player, creating offense and being good defensively.
Coach, with this being the last weekend, I want to talk a little bit defensively. A lot of young guys out there that are fighting for a spot, and there are some spots available. What are you watching for defensively?
Well, I guess, first off, each guy's a little bit different. So, you got to be great at what you bring to the table. Dennis Cholowski's a puck mover. He's a power play guy who we want to see be a guy who could be our 5th penalty killer, who we want to see a guy who defends, who I would say recognizes danger and doesn't give up chances. I think he's done a way better job of that so far. So, he's kind of trying to fill that type of role. A guy like Madison Bowie's trying to fill that, we need if Dennis is in that spot, who's his partner? A guy like Madison Bowie wants to make a statement that he can be that good defender, one of the top 4 penalty killers. Hard to play against that kind of role. Dales has done a good job in his career of being a good penalty killer and kind of being in that spot. So, say we get a whole bunch of guys that are in that mix. So, again, for me, it's just being really good at what you are, and then we got to see how it fits. You got to have enough guys that are good penalty killers, otherwise you have no chance to have a good penalty kill. So that's one thing we have to look at. And then, potentially we could use 3 defensemen on the power play, especially if it was a Cholowski, a Green, and a Hronek.
Coach, you hear Coach Blash. I just called you Coach. That would be a switch up. Ken, you heard Coach talking about his young defenseman, and he's looking for the penalty kill and things like that. So tonight, these guys might be making their final appearance in front of Coach Blashill, front office. What do they do in tonight's game?
Well, you always have to compete and perform at the highest level that you can. And what Jeff Blashill talked about, what do you bring to the table? And Maury Sider is a puck too, big, strong guy. He's got to bring it all today. Strom's kind of a physical type defenseman. Joe Hickett, same way. And Oliver Kasky, good on the power play, great shot. So they all bring different aspects to the table, I guess, as Jeff Blashill mentioned. But again, it's all about health too, and keep in mind the Red Wings have some veteran blue liners like Green and Daly, and sometimes they've been injured throughout the course of their National Hockey League career. So even if these young guys that we were looking at don't make it, you always have to be ready. So even if they start in the American Hockey League, injuries are a big part of the sport, and if you're called up, you got to be ready to play.
And I know Coach Blashill had mentioned that too, that the roster may not be the same next Friday as it is on Sunday night when they make that final decision.
Well, it'll be interesting to see who makes the 23-man roster, and that's probably a decision that's going to be made late Sunday night. And then it'll give the opportunity for the team to practice a whole week before they start in Nashville. I think that's a bonus and a plus. But again, it looks like Jonathan Ericsson, we don't know about him. He may be on the injured list at the start of the season. But again, you never know what's going to happen throughout the course of the week or in these final 2 preseason games. You want to play hard, but you want to escape injury-free and get ready for the season opener, which will be on next Saturday, a week from today, against the Nashville Predators.
A lot of opportunity on the blue line and really throughout the entire Red Wings roster there as we get to these last 2 preseason games against the Maple Leafs. They're in town tonight. We kind of looked at their roster. They're not really starting any of their big guns tonight, Ken. We're saying we can expect that tomorrow night in Toronto. So for tonight's game, what can we expect?
Well, you really want to see Marner and Tavares and all these guys play. I really want to see them play, but it looks like they'll probably play in Toronto. And I think we'll see a really good Red Wing lineup too, because the team hasn't really been together, and I think maybe the coaching staff and Steve Yzerman wants to see what a full team would look like and compete against their top guns in Toronto. But tonight, it's all about the youngsters, and like you mentioned, Daniela, one last chance to prove what they're worth and if they can make the team.
One last chance for preseason here at Little Caesars Arena. So, guys, if you can, get down here. Puck drop is 7:30 tonight. But if you can't make the game, it will be broadcasted on Fox Sports Detroit today. And, of course, you can listen to Ken Kal on 97.1 The Ticket. Ken, thank you so much for joining me, as always.
It's always fun, and it's always fun when the Maple Leafs come to town.
Yes, it is. And next time we see you, it'll be some regular season hockey. So enjoy the game, everyone, and we'll see you next time.